Shall we begin?
Football Feast.
I knew we was going to beat them clowns.
Oh, well.
Holy Toledo!
Fire away.
Good stuff.
Personal foul. Clipping.
Now, what did I do wrong?
Big boy's back.
That's a fact.
It's an old soul sports cafe. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All righty, Nords, you ready? Here they come.
I'm ready.
5 in a row for Rudy go. 5 in a row for Rudy go.
Here's Ant left side in the corner, rises up over Marketing and drains it. 33 for Edwards, his 5th 3 of the night. The onslaught continues. 122-97. Ant with back-to-back 33-point games. And Sexton lost it driving. Ball got knocked out of bounds. It was off of Sexton's leg. And you could hear Ant say, hell yeah. Ant on the hunt, left side of the floor. Matched up against John Collins, lining up the 3 ball. He lets it fly and hits again. 36 for Edwards. He's tearing the Jazz apart.
Alan Horton on the fantastic call. And Ant's marching. Ant is/was marching last night. Well done. Then we get to our wild, arduous back-to-back, still down key players. Montreal had lost 3 in a row, and we kept them cold.
To try and keep the Wild in business. He does. Threw it in front. Ogren trying to dance in front. Couldn't get a shot through. He comes back to Ogren, and he scores! Liam Ogren with his 2nd career NHL goal, his 1st this season. The Wild draw first blood in the 2nd period. They're in front of the Canadiens, 1-0. Another giveaway. Quick shot by Anderson, stopped by Fleury. Rebound in the slot. Loose puck. Anderson a try, and a right shoulder save by Fleury. Stopped him 3 times here on this shift alone. Struble to the blue line, right side. Broken stick for Hartman. A long shot by Struble, tipped wide in front. Canadiens making their proverbial push as they center. Stalling stop by Fleury. A 2-pad slide as he robbed Anderson again. Now a point drive by Anderson, and that one went wide. Boy, the Flower putting on a show in the 3rd on this sequence alone.
3 in a row for Joe O. 3 in a row for Joe O. Damn. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the home of the KFAN, Minnesota Vikings, Minnesota Wild, and Minnesota Timberwolves audio networks. Of course, the Wild one. And as we welcome you to the Friday football and power forward and forechecking and football feast, the Wild one, of course, it was away from the state of hockey. Paul Charchian, Nordo produces, and I'm Paul Allen. Good morning. How about this, man? Your Wild is now 25-3 away from the X and 11-12-1 in the state of hockey. 4 more played on the road to this stage is supposed to favor us later with a handful of games here in the state of hockey, but the records would indicate we are better on the road. The whole thing is just crazy, boys, and good morning.
In case you're curious, PA, the 25-3 record, it ain't just, it's close, it is by far the best record in the National Hockey League. On the road.
Road Warriors, antithetical to Road Warriors.
Just play the rest of the games of the season on the road, right? I mean, just play them away from home.
Dynamite for the owner's bottom line.
Earlier in the week, you had Bill Guerin on post-presser before the team heads to Toronto to get an update on the injury status of Kirill Kaprizov. The injuries and managing that and weathering storms has been thematic for John Hines' team. Last night they were just dominant, and I will say certain teams they've matched up well with over the last handful of years. The Edmonton Oilers, for the most part, have been a team that the Wild figure out.
Yeah.
Montreal has been a team that, in general, they've found a way to victory in most cases. Fleury getting the standing O and the applause. And
how cool is that?
Gets the 19-save shutout. He's like one of the first people in NHL history to have I think a shutout post 40. Andy had a shutout at 20. Fleury's career, of course, the lights dim on that. But he was terrific last night in the back-to-back. It's sweet. Keep playing on the road, guys.
It's got to be close to NHL record territory to win 25 of your first 28 road games.
Ooh.
I'm not nearly enough of a hockey historian to
Sure
know,
you
but
are.
how many other times has that even happened?
You may not be a hockey historian, but you follow it so closely. I've been waiting all night last night, through the night, and all morning to have you explain exactly how well Devon Shore fits into the Minnesota Wild lineup. Devon Shore, he scored a goal last night. He was a +1 in the plus-minus. He had one shot on goal, and he blocked 3 shots, and he scored a goal. Devon Shore, who knew, right?
Who knew? Not me, that's for sure.
Who knew?
Who knew? Well, you know how
Did you know who he was?
I knew who Devon Shore was.
Yeah.
But
Yours truly had no idea.
But the way that I know that it's hockey season, we're home of the Vikings. We sweat out a 14-win season, ends with a thud at Detroit and then against the Rams.
We're the audio home of the Minnesota Vikings.
Is when I see Charch wearing his Team USA Lake Placid sweatshirt.
Yeah.
That's when I know that it's officially hockey season.
Yeah. That's brilliant you bring that up, because Paul and I have known each other so long that not only did I know it was hockey season back in the PA and Dubé days when Charch would don the ever apparent red, white, and blue of the Lake Placid hockey sweater.
Yeah.
He wore it as the Minnesota Wild were announced a professional hockey team in the state of Minnesota 20 whatever years ago. And then I think I saw it 3 feasts ago, maybe
You did.
early December. And good morning.
I always wear it at a December feast. People love it. I love it.
It's super sweet.
I don't know why Nordo even knows about that.
Because it's weird looking.
Well,
it's a throwback to the jerseys they wore in the 1920s, Lake Placid.
Oh, I didn't know
Well,
that.
here's why I remember is because there was a Friday in which we did a Vox in the Box. This is 8-9 years ago. And you wore that to the X.
which is perfect.
And you were on the verge of hypothermia by the end of the 9 a.m. hour.
That is true.
And I think that was also the last time that we did a Friday Vox in the Box because of temperature-related terrorism.
Okay, so you got me there. That is absolutely true. The Vox in the Box it's chilly. You need to layer up for Vox on the Box.
Yeah, no. Box in the Box has taken a turn.
It has changed.
Yours truly will say it's taken a turn for the better. Now, I'm looking at it I, not thy. Here's what I'm talking about. We no longer do it at XL Energy Center.
Right.
We now do it at TRIA, the practice home of the Minnesota Wild. It's their facility. So we've lost out on the final hour, hang in the 100.
Yeah.
Shoot the puck in the hole. Well, it's not that we've lost it. It was taken away.
I was going to say, this couldn't have been by choice because that was an awesome setup.
It was taken away.
It's Ryan Donato's fault.
Yes.
I mean, if we're going to try
Obviously, Ryan.
shove responsibility in someone else's direction.
Well, no, he's telling the truth. Ryan Donato, former member of the Minnesota Wild, it's of all the core 4 of pro sports, hockey is the best in certain areas and also the most genuine and authentic it can be in certain areas. So therefore, you get a lot of these kids, probably some with their families listening right now, who are high-end hockey players. They're going to play, they're going to play in the Big Ten, the WCHA, the ECHL, the AH. I got no idea where they're going to play, but they're good. Then they end up in the National Hockey League. Then they get to the X. Then they're skating around with their adversarial team, and they catch wind of the three-chinned cartoon character they heard yell "Andy's loose" in their formative years. So then they'll stop and they'll fist bump and they'll say hello.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Outside of Andrew Van Ginkel, that never happens anywhere in the NFL. So they have an appreciation for Vox in the Box being there. Well, the hang the 100 and shoot the puck through the hole. Well, that kind of caught a little bit of fire around the league, where teams for other players for other teams would head out to their morning skate. They'd come right over. Where's the 100? We heard about it. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Yeah, they'd catch me at some weird times too, where I'd have to put like $25 bills up there all over the place.
You didn't happen to have a Franklin on
100, right? No Benny.
Now you do remember, of course, the time somebody got your 100.
Which time?
Do you remember?
Yeah, well, there's several occasions.
Somebody at one point, we were in the middle of doing our show.
Anzi Kopitar got 200 from me.
You at one point. You and I were in a heated conversation.
Think we weren't?
You're not paying attention to the $100 bill you had taped up by the hole.
You were there that day?
And somebody...
Yuri Hoodlum. Yuri Hoodlum.
That's right.
Calgary.
Yeah.
Stole it, held it up like he was Russell Crowe in Gladiator, holding the head of some king, traipsing around some arena.
Yes. And he could not have been more excited. Now he gave the money. Here's where it got tricky for you.
Yeah. Did I ask for it back?
He gave the money to assistant trainer guy.
Yeah.
Right? So he gives him the $100.
Yeah.
Now, it's one thing. Yuri's making, $2 million a year. Mm-hmm. It's one thing for him. Mm-hmm. But then you wanted the 100 back. Mm-hmm. And you made him go get the 100 back from the trainer.
Well, let's be honest here.
He didn't earn it.
Yeah, he didn't shoot. He stole it.
He did not.
I was looking one way. He put his grimy mitts through the hole and grabbed the 100 and took off like a thief in the night.
Now, have you ever done something like where you'll distract somebody and have them look somewhere else, and then you will go in and say...
And hide their phone?
Hide their phone, poke their sides. Mm-hmm. Is that ever you ever done any kind of distraction work like that?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So you respect the craft.
Right, but I can't give them back their innocence for the side poking the way Hoodler gave back the money.
Yeah,
So thus I stopped.
My sides have been ruined forever.
Yeah, so I'll never.
I'll never have virgin sides again.
You're okay. If you want to go down that road, let me just make it public, because I've said it to both of you privately. Do your wives understand exactly what they have? How lucky they are to be able to lay there, traipse around, have dinner with, go to movies with, drive along with what you guys possess with your sides. I mean, it is sheer love. Do they appreciate and recognize what they have?
My wife does not grab my sides.
No,
like you do.
No.
My wife picks her moments, but I want you to know that I don't take my sides for granted. Mm-hmm. I wax them.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you got it, you flaunt it.
Yeah, right. I mean, and that's not enough, right? I lubricate.
Yeah.
Wax. Seal.
Ooh.
Yep. I do a lot of upkeep. Exfoliate my sides as well.
Good.
I got a little exfoliation. I've got a whole routine.
Roxy's lucky.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and you're very thoughtful. So that meshes beautifully. So to land the plane on Ryan Donato, he had either been released or traded by the Minnesota Wild. I think he was traded, something like that. I think he ended up with like the San Jose Sharks or something. So we're doing a Vox in the box, and this sealed the end. This led to the end of Vox in the box at XL Energy Center. Donato knew the bit from when he played with the Wild, the hang the 100, but the Wild never did it because we weren't there to distract our team. We were there to distract the other team. You with me?
Yeah.
Donato was so mad at something, and I think it's because it was his first game against the team that opted to let him leave, and it was the first team for whom he played in the league.
Revenge game.
He was mad. He hit slap shots at that hole so hard that, like Brian Ralston, with one of the great slappers in the history of the Wild, whomever has the best slap shot in the history of the NHL, he hit it twice as hard, 5 times. Left a little crack in the glass.
Should it be cracked the glass?
9 to noon didn't see it. That's the problem. So we leave. They're set to play that evening.
Yeah.
An hour 15 before the game. Good googly goo. We got to replace the glass, and we may have to delay the game. See?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Well, how'd this happen?
That's not your fault.
Well, 100% it is because we didn't tell somebody.
Yep.
So you have...
Well, but you didn't notice.
You have, of the 19,000 strong, you have about 11 that are sitting in their seats. They got their mini donuts. They got the beers. They got the sodas.
Yeah.
And they got the lights on, and it's jock jams, and it's LED, the pre-show, and the teams are even out there skating. The equipment guy has to come out and change a panel of glass
Bucks in the box delayed the game.
that they could have known about 9 hours earlier.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to say, as long as they didn't send me the bill, I'm happy to be like, that's my bad. I did not see it. I did not know that the glass ultimately there was a spider web style crack in it.
Same.
I should have told somebody, and I didn't.
Oh, you knew?
No, I did not know. But I wish that I could have known to tell somebody.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's not like it's splintered into 1,000, fragments or anything, right? It was just a crack in the glass.
Yes.
You are in the middle of doing your toil, entertaining people for 3 hours.
There was a
You're
member
not
of
staring at glass integrity.
The Wild liked this so much. A member of the Minnesota Wild, who no longer is with the organization and worked in media relations, actually made a sign like shoot the puck through the hole and win the $100. A member of the staff. Yeah. Okay, so we hung a sign. But anyway, continue.
Well, it just seems to me that
there were a chain of events too that led up to it.
Why? Okay. Obviously, the puck travels very fast. You would think the glass would be slap shot resistant.
Yeah, but not 5 in the same spot.
Yeah,
that was the problem.
You think that was it? 5 in the exact same spot, and eventually it goes? I just don't think it wouldn't even dawn on me.
We were asking a lot of that glass, and there was, most would handle the finesse. Donato was exercising demons with what he was doing to that glass.
I'm not an elite city auto glass mind, so I don't know the stretchability or the elasticity or lack thereof a pane of glass is going to have facing slap shots like that. But there was a chain of events that kind of led up to it too.
What was that?
Well, there used to be they would have the score, what's the bit called, the contraption?
Yeah, just it controls the scoreboard. Yeah, there's a console that you can do. You can add scores, you can set timing and various things, and you can also
hit the horn. Okay, which
oh boy, somebody let you near the horn button?
Well, I don't think it was intentional.
This would be
expected him to handle himself.
This would be BN before Nords. Okay, so I was hitting that horn, and then they basically would. I was messing with the scoreboard during Box in the Box. They would unattach. They would unplug the horn or move it or whatever.
Well, yeah.
Right. Okay. So that was
a good idea.
Now, one time they forgot. So I just pushed it, and unbeknownst to us, there was an operations individual or somebody fixing something on a catwalk above the ice. I hit the horn. He gets startled. It's not It's not like holding on for dear life, blowing in the wind, holding on to that last cable
from 5 stories up.
But he was legitimately concerned. He was startled enough that it was going to fall. Well, now all of a sudden, now it's on the radar that not only can we not have the console here, we have to take it away. And then now we have the glass issue. And so therefore there's going to be no shooting into this hole.
Yeah.
They would replace the glass for the radio show. They would put one that did not have a hole into the penalty box.
Oh, come on. All just to stop you from...
They did.
Oh, geez.
But then finally, let's say this was 4 years ago, 3 years ago. What they really didn't like is I was like, well, I mean, why do we even need to be here? Because in 2024, 2025, you're never going to win here.
I always love that.
You're always going to win on the road and be 25 and whatever. So maybe we should do Vox in the road box.
I always love that.
And see how they handle it.
When I grew up watching hockey, the hardest slap shot was, that I remember,
Brian Ralston for me. Here.
Al McInnes.
Oh, yeah. Al McGinnis.
That's who I remember as having the hardest slap. Is there a consensus?
Hey, the Moosey, what you doing to Moosey?
Slap shot in the league right now? Somebody that's just bombs away?
That's a great question.
I don't know.
That's a wonderful question.
Well, I think it's got to be Zdeno Chara. At least in recent times.
Yeah.
Zdeno Chara.
Yeah, he was with the Bruins, I think. He was like 6'7", 6'8", just this giant dude. And he was the guy, I think, during like NHL All-Star Weekend, he'd be the guy that put triple digits on the speed gun with the slap shot.
Wow.
Like Zdeno Chara, I think, is the name, but
is that person in the league anymore?
But not that he was
was he any good?
Yeah, I think he was very good.
Was he very good?
In 2023.
He was 6'9"?
Yes.
Good God.
He's massive.
In 2023, It was written at some site I don't recognize, so I'm not going to click on it and get catfished. Something called Philippe Roenick fires the hardest slap shot ever recorded.
Okay.
And that
How fast was it?
That's a great question. You know what?
You think that'd be key to the story?
I'm going to throw caution to the wind and just get into this thing.
Okay.
Philip Roenick of the Vancouver Canucks is enjoying a great start. 16 assists. Well, we're happy for you. 6-foot Czech native. Happy for that, too. And the Vancouver Canucks later revealed the NHL shot tracking technology measured the shot at a whopping 107.9 miles per hour.
107.
Making it the fastest shot ever recorded by the NHL tracking technology since its inception 3 years ago. So that takes us back to 2020. How does the shot rank among the hardest shots ever recorded in the history of the NHL?
Yeah.
Zdeno Chara
There you go.
holds the record for the fastest shot ever recorded at 108.8.
Dang.
In the 2012 All-Star Game.
Well, here's what I'm curious about, though, because I got a couple
Shea Weber, little Shea Weber is second, 108.1. Wow.
I got a couple of texters separately put Shea Weber. So he's the slap shot king, apparently. But is Zdeno Chara, is that fraudulent because it was done in an NHL skills competition versus a game?
That doesn't count.
So maybe Chara takes the L and we say it's Chara, or excuse me, it's Shea Weber or this Roenick cat.
Yeah, I don't think it counts when all they did was line up a series of pucks.
And there's something called Martin Firk, FRK, 109.2 at an AHL All-Star Game. But it's an All-Star game, so it doesn't count.
No, it does not count.
AHL?
No. And your scoring records don't count there either, by the way.
I was thinking about you a little bit last night.
Oh, I don't like the sound of this.
It involves this.
In the hot tub?
Your adoration goes back, I believe, a year to when the Wolves got good last year. Maybe before that. And your adoration for a player named Luka Garza was palpable. Mm-hmm. Well, now he's playing every game. Finchie's a little pear-shaped right now, okay? And when I say pear-shaped, I don't mean it to be a negative connotation, okay? He's just scattered. He's all over the place, getting thrown out for the first time in the history of his coaching career for calling
nights ago.
calling the refs bozos.
Was that why?
Yes.
Was it the word? Bozos?
Yeah, bozos. Okay. You guys are bozos.
Well, he's gripping, man, with this team, don't you think?
Well, it's just what he's doing during games. He played Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle the entire first quarter last night. And then for about 5 minutes into the second quarter, I mean, that's cool. They're the best two players on the team. But, I mean, I don't know what he was. I'd never seen that, with those two. He just ain't sitting them. So then the other night at Phoenix, he got frustrated with something. Now, Naz Reid was down. So Naz Reid is down. Of course, let's put a big in.
Yeah.
Well, he puts second-year guard Jalen Clark, who missed all of last year from UCLA with injury. When he came out of UCLA, he was the D1 college basketball defensive player of the year. So I'm watching my man body up to Devin Booker, and Booker can't get around him. I'm like, hey, that looks
he was
good.
really good.
But Clark, it's the first time he had played in the first half of a game in his career.
Wow.
Well, now we got Luka Garza floating around 14 to 20 minutes a game. And I know you're a fan of Luka's.
I am.
And I don't know if you caught this in the Phoenix game. I didn't really look for it last night. There were moments in that Phoenix game, I'm not even sure the other people on the team knew he was on the team. I mean, they would penetrate. I mean, he's standing out there as wide open and lonely as a human being can be. And they never would pass him the ball. Poor Luka.
That is unfortunate because he does. Dude can finish near the hoop. He can shoot outside.
I guess I didn't realize how accomplished he was at Iowa.
He can kind of be
good
instant offense. Yeah. I think he was averaging like 30 down there a game.
Yeah.
So that might be the last time people attended men's Iowa Hawkeyes basketball game. But anyway,
nice cheap shot.
When other crowds are diseased right now. For the men's games. Like Caitlin Clark left, and now all of a sudden basketball's dead on all levels. Nobody goes to high school games or middle school games or anything. But anyway.
I just feel like Garza is good enough that he should be getting more than most games he gets 0 minutes. He should be getting, I just feel like he should be getting more court time, and I think he brings enough to the table and is different enough from anybody else that we've got that I'd like to find minutes for that guy. I like his game. He went plus 25 last night. Now, granted, it was a totally one-sided affair, and the Jazz absolutely miserable. By the way,
Damn, Naz Reid was plus 35 last night.
how about that? I traded him for Devin Booker yesterday.
Garza was plus 7 last night. Maybe in the Phoenix game, he was a plus 2.5.
He was plus 7 last night.
Yeah, I know,
Ant
right
was
at it.
plus 25.
Yeah.
I am looking at the Luka Garza page,
But you
the
can
game log. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But
you can tell how pissed that Finch was at the end of one last night when they're grinding. I think they were down 4 after the first quarter.
They were down 15 at one point early in the second quarter to those L's.
And typically it's not uncommon, I don't think, for Ant to play most or all of the first quarter.
Yeah.
But I was kind of watching that too for LFL reasons last night. And
into the second quarter.
correct, I'm like,
there they both are.
there's 8 minutes left in the half. Ant's still in the game? What's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
And so but again, I think the head coach is great. Like, he feels this. Like, there's that click moment that you've been building up and we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks where it's there, but it's not. And it was, again, how they handled the Nuggets game into the Hawks game. How would they handle KD and Booker into the Fighting Walker Kesslers?
Yeah.
And I think they did it tremendously last night. It was awesome. And then to the point, almost punitively, Ant at the end of the game, and it was good for Nordo. It was good for the con in fantasy hoops. But he just had to have 40, and he fell short. Suddenly, he just hits 3 straight triples, and he's clowning on people. And then they got Joe Ingles waving to the crowd and everything. It kind of devolved into madness, but it was awesome to see them actually just beat down a bad team.
The Birch.
what happened to Utah? So
Utah.
forever, Utah was so hard to get past. The
Yeah.
Jerry Sloan years.
Yep.
Wolves struggled against Utah all the time.
And they still, it's the only pro sports team in town, but they still sell out every game. It's super hard to get tickets to like that game. Same thing in Portland with the Blazers and stuff, and they ain't very good.
Yeah, well, they got hockey now, and their hockey team is shockingly competent.
Is Jordan Clarkson the only
yeah,
guy
you're
that's
right, they
left
do.
from those playoff teams?
That's a very good
Because
question.
Rudy and Conley are here. Quinn Snyder's
Yep.
gone.
John
Right, and
Collins
Quinn
was a
Snyder was
Hawk.
pretty good.
Quinn Snyder's a good
Colin
coach.
Sexton
Yeah.
Right.
was a Cav. And I believe he is.
And so the wheels have completely come off. Was it in their part of the Gobert trade? I don't remember what they got anymore, but were they like the ultimate losers in this trade, the Jazz? And that has had all these repercussions, and they've been a
I think it
middling
is.
team since then.
I think there's still a lot of time left in that because they still got picks to use of ours. They have Isaiah Collier. That's part of the trade, technically. Walker Kessler's part of that transaction.
Yeah, Walker can't play. I mean, he's okay, but
No,
he had an unbelievably good first year.
That rookie year, everybody's like, "Why did we make this trade for Gobert? We could have Walker Kessler."
I'm curious
And
what they gave up for Lauri Markkanen. I kind of forget exactly how that went because Lauri was but Lauri was never going to be the star of that operation. They're missing something, and it's clearly they need better guard play. I mean, they had Chris Dunn in the mix for a while, and now with Sexton and Collier, like they're still trying to figure that out. Absolutely, they've tried everybody over the last 18 months, and it's not working. They're a bad team, but it was awesome. Now we can beat down the Utah Jazz. Should be a W on the calendar as soon as the schedule comes out.
Now, best in closing, best slap shot in the National Hockey League, according to Johnny the Mouse Mickelson, captain of the 83 Wayzata Club hockey team.
you would know.
The most formidable club hockey team in the history of all of hockey and all of the world, and yes, Mouse wore the C. I don't know how to say the last name, FRK. I'm going to say Martin Frick, Martin, Frick.
I'm a FERC guy myself.
Halifax Mooseheads is, I guess, where he
That's why
started.
he knows.
Halifax
That's why he knows.
Mooseheads?
Oh, don't laugh at the Halifax Mooseheads.
That's not
I
a
know.
great name.
That's why he moves.
You're not good enough to have the whole moose.
Nathan
just the head.
Nathan McKinnon played for the Mooseheads, okay?
Did he?
Yeah, so don't.
You're making that up
You can
right
take
now,
the
but
lake.
that's
No,
fine.
I'm not. You can take the Lake Placid sweater that's 35 years old
Yeah.
and
Do what with it, Paul?
call that your historical hockey knowledge.
Okay, all right.
When it comes to Halifax Moosehead history, Nathan McKinnon was a member of the Halifax Mooseheads.
Yeah, you don't mess with Mouse on Halifax-related intel.
Thank you to Moosey. It's 9:29. You're listening to 9 to Noon at FM 100.3 KFAN. Vikes Bites around the corner. That's all part of the Timber Tech What's on Deck set list, which 30 minutes from now includes a writer for The Athletic named Dan Pompey. He wrote a really in-depth, super cool story on former Vikings quarterback Teddy Bridgewater. And we're going to discuss that with Dan Mann on the Fan. Our friend Thor Nystrom is either back from the Senior Bowl or still at the Senior Bowl, but he's an elite college football mind. And at 11 o'clock, he'll offer up some Senior Bowl-related thoughts for 9 to noon. Greenway's in the middle. For Paul Charchian, I'm Paul Allen. Eric Nordquist produces 9 to noon on your audio home for Minnesota Wild, Timberwolves, and Vikings football, FM 100.3, KFAN, your cash delivering leader.
Yeah, the Fan wants to give you a chance to put $1,000 in your hand with the National Cash Contest. The keyword this hour is grand. You might win $1,000 with the keyword grand. All you got to do, go to KFAN.com and enter it now.
9:34. It's the Friday football feast. Let's offer up some truncated Vikes Bites led by Nordo.
Skull.
Whoa.
Vikes Bites.
Brought to you by Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed Beef. You can shop online. Box of meat shows up at your doorstep. Thousand Hills also available at your local Coburns, your local Co-ops locations. If you're looking for the combination of flavor, okay, love tasty beef, and you're looking for high nutrient density, regenerative agriculture, you can tell that story on your plate with delicious Thousand Hills beef. Now,
Are you a sous vide guy?
I've never sous vide. No,
Why not?
I just don't. I don't have the equipment.
You're a noted smoker.
I do. Yes, correct. Absolutely. I love smoking. And I'm not even against sous vide per se. I just have never done it. So you're a sous vide guy.
The gift giving season, unfortunately, behind us. When's your birthday? Maybe I could get you a sous vide.
Okay. Well, let's November 27th.
I got a little ways to go on that too.
But just that's
I would
keep
make
it in
sense.
mind.
Yeah. I just knowing how much you appreciate a well cooked steak. I would think that sous vide would be in your arsenal at any rate.
Admittedly, I just usually reverse sear. So I throw it on a smoker for a little bit, get it up to about $1.15, and then I just sear the bleep out of it on both sides. Finish it about 129, and I'm feasting. So
right.
In my
But
race
sous vide,
announcing days in San Francisco, I too was a sous vide guy on the corner of O'Farrell and Polk, and it ran me about $3,000 and nearly sent me to jail.
I always loved that one.
Sous vide.
Yeah, sous vide.
Let's start here. The head coach. Now we'll find out eventually. There's all kinds. Is there not just 50 different awards at this time of year, and it's trying to figure out like, okay, this is the Pro Football Writers Association, this is XYZ website,
Yeah,
this is
Sporting
some sort of
News
foundation.
does theirs. And
Yeah, correct.
blah, blah, blah.
But the Associated Press, I believe the awards portion of things will happen this next week, leading up to Super Bowl 59.
Yeah.
But Kevin O'Connell, whether he wins it, if it's Dan Campbell's, whatever happens, what my question to you guys is the extension now is behind us. He's our head coach, and we're excited about it. Is there something you would like to see or something you expect to see Kevin O'Connell evolve or improve on in 2025?
Yeah, Charch, that's a wonderful question.
Yes. Play calling and in-game decision-making, to me, are areas where I think Kevin can get better. I think Kevin's really, really good in most everything he does. But, and maybe it's just, human nature. We all quibble with some play calling situations, right? No game comes where like, that coach called the exact right play every single play.
Exactly.
But there are times when there are tides of games that are going one way, and I feel like Kevin does not always adapt to what's happening on the field in real time. That would be, it feels that way. We don't know because, we don't know and we never will know, but it feels that way to me, that we don't see in-game adaptations fast enough. And that would be the one thing that I would tell a fourth-year coach, still young, still learning on the job and doing most of the right things. If there were one thing I'd change, that would be it. That's the thing I'd like to see Kevin get better at.
I wonder sometimes, because we are in our fishbowl, and so we're thinking about Kevin O'Connell and these sorts of things. And I lean in your direction, Charch, in terms of just offensively. Is there a flow aspect that can change? We talked about it post, kind of Rams and the season in memoriam, kind of the idea of, did we have better blitz beaters or some gotta have it type plays in our pocket to alleviate some of the pressure on Sam? We've gone over and poured over all of that. But what would it be like? Do you think Chiefs fans once in a while, when a play doesn't work on third down, like they're MFing Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Because I believe even the best can get got at various times. I just wonder what it's like being a Chiefs fan and like ripping on Andy. What a dumbass play call, Andy Reid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's built up a little equity.
I know he has.
Andy Reid has, and
That's true.
So you get
A couple of rings. Might have a third in a row here.
It's got to be boring to do Chiefs sports talk radio. You're on 610 in Kansas City, and you're like, well, okay, we're not going to rip the head coach, not going to rip our quarterback. What do we even talk about here? Another win.
Xavier Worthy.
Another win.
Oh, wait a minute. The GM has done nothing but hit home runs for like the last half decade. I mean, rip Creed Humphrey.
For what?
Yeah, we found, apparently I saw this when we were talking about potential free agents. The Chiefs fan base, they're down on Nick Bolton, their linebacker, their tackling machine periodically. Maybe he'll be available.
That's the best they can do.
Yeah, correct.
Is their leading tackler is not requisite of their.
Yeah, Trent McDuffie's an absolute stud. The whole thing. Chris Jones, what do you say? Karlaftis, etc. Vikes Bites. Thank you, Thousand Hills. Harrison Smith, at his age, the elder statesman, played 89% of snaps on defense for the Purple this year. So
amazing.
Will he or won't he? I've brought this up a couple of times at the beginning of the season. Brian Flores is, I'm going to do whatever I can to take some snaps off of old man Hitman. Well, then he
can't get him off the field.
He couldn't take him off the field.
Yeah.
He has his own decision to make, of course. How vital is it in your head when we're doing plans? PA kind of framing up the purple purge, if you will. There's going to be a lot of new faces, some faces we relied on that might not be here in 2025 and beyond. How much do you factor in Harrison Smith as being a vital return piece in 2025?
Pretty important, especially because we don't know what's up with Cam Byron. If he's going to be Cam Bynum, if he's going to be on the team.
No relation to Bynum Murphy Jr.
No. I want to believe that with Flores staying, and it appears he will stay, barring something really odd happening at this point.
I think he's here.
Harrison Smith, I think he comes back because he likes the defense, and I think I want to believe he likes us, and that he wants to keep playing. And if Harrison was trying to ease his way into retirement, that he wouldn't have played. What was it? 85% of the snaps. That's a lot.
89.
89. That's a lot for any one player. And also this. Vikings should be motivated to bring back Harrison because, in addition to Cam Bynum, you've got Stephon Gilmore, Byron Murphy, Shaq Griffin, Fabian Moreau. Basically, every known quantity at cornerback, and Cam Byron gone potentially.
No relation to Bynum Murphy Jr.
You need to have a returning veteran presence. And it would be a big loss if you've got to start over at strong safety with Harrison Smith as well.
Vikes Bites! Quarterback Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Along with Justin Jefferson, Byron Murphy Jr., Jonathan Grenard, Andrew Van Ginkel, long snapper Andrew DePaula. And then, 6 degrees of Pro Bowl replacements and secondary, thirdly, fourthly, etc. in terms of replacement invitations. Brian O'Neill is going to be part of the Pro Bowl games. Yes,
okay.
he is.
All right.
But back to Sammy. Will you watch festivities this weekend, and will it be the last time we see Sam wearing purple?
No and yes. I don't know why anybody would watch the skills competition.
Oh, come on. He was awesome last night. I saw a video on X.
What'd he do?
He was just absolutely daggering. That was some throwing drill.
Is it the whole thing just throwing drills?
He was an assassin last night. He looked terrific.
There was a drill last night where Justin Jefferson was catching. I saw it on the tweet machine. So then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to go find this.
Yeah.
And Justin had been catching passes from the jugs machine. Okay, so they fire at 100 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Got football gloves on. They catch them. Well, then he had to put these puffy, like hamburger helper gloves on. They were mascot gloves is what they were called.
Okay.
And he barely could catch any.
Well, I bet.
And I'm like, all right. I mean, okay, cool. That's the bit. Cool, that's the bit.
We found his weakness. Kryptonite?
Back to Houston and whomever played in that game. And
man,
it was
how
really,
good was Hamburger
really
Helper back in the day?
Is Hamburger Helper still around? I assume it is.
Yeah, I assume it is.
I mean,
it's right next to SpaghettiOs in the big wheel aisle.
hamburger helper helps your... What was the phrase?
O-ring.
No.
Be antithetical to that.
That's really not where I was headed with this. It was their jingle from like the 80s.
Yeah.
Hamburger helper helps her.
We're off the
Hamburger
rails.
help her make a good meal. Something like that.
We're off the rails, so we pause. When we return, there's a question Paul Charchian has asked via @PaulCharchian and Twitter that yours truly would like to present, and we will see where the conversation goes. On your audio home for 9 to noon football and the Love Covenant Audio Network, this is KFAN.
Vikes Bites.
Welcome back to 9 to noon.
What helped her hamburger taste
There it is.
Hamburger helper.
The hamburger.
Hamburger helper. Help your hamburger helper make a great deal.
Hamburger Helper helps her make a great meal, like our cheeseburger macaroni. Just add it to hamburger and make a saucy, savory supper from our elbow macaroni and
I gotta get to the song again, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's jazzy in the background.
Hamburger helper. Help your hamburger helper make a great deal.
There it is.
It's a catchy song. Here it is, 30 plus years later, and I can still sing the hamburger helper song.
Catchy for sure, but it's not. Is it in the sassy vein, or is it in the same fishbowl when it comes to catchy as my baloney is my first name? It's OSCAR, and a second name is MAYER. How did it go from there?
I don't know. That's the Oscar Mayer Wiener song.
I'm it every day. If you know why I say, because Oscar Mayer
has a way with BOLOGNA. Nicely done.
Because Sous Vide has a way with Paul Charchian's DNA.
I am stuck on Band-Aid because Band-Aid stuck on me.
Yes,
that's one right there.
Wow. Sorry. Nordo spit out his water.
He didn't like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Paul Charchian Sous Vide DNA.
It's not working right now. How about I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper.
Wouldn't you love to be a pepper too?
Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?
Be a pepper, be Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one here for you. Hold on. It's let's see. What other one sticks out to you?
How about this? 2 all beef patties.
Special sauce. That's the one I was looking up.
2 all beef patties.
Yeah.
Special sauce. Lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions.
Well, that's the one I was looking up.
Sesame seed bun.
Right. Have it your way.
Have it your way.
Do you remember my
That's
friend
Burger
Matt
King.
Carruthers?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Matt, TVG Immortality, Southern California. His father, Gibson, wrote that jingle.
Shut up.
Okay. So his father, Gibson, I think lives down New Orleans way. Gibson Carruthers wrote the jingle, that jingle. He wrote jingles for an advertising agency. He came up with that one, followed it up with the saying, and you're an entrepreneur, so this is going to make you all squirmy. Came up with the bumper sticker, "Life's a beach." Life's a beach.
You see them all over the place.
Well,
with whatever is Salt Life. I don't know what that is.
I
That's
don't
all
know
over the
if you
place,
do
too.
anymore, but life's a beach. Coffee cups, keychains, bumper stickers, zillionaire.
What a way to retire.
And then he opened a store that was at Mall of America. Might have been national for a little bit. Maybe it's still around. Called Socks Appeal. SOCKS.
Wow.
Socks Appeal.
Yeah, that was at least regional. They were in all the malls in the 90s. I don't know if they're still around.
As jingles would go, that's he came up with the Burger King Have It Your Way.
And the funny thing is,
go ahead with Fanball and old Guillotine.
When I
Have It Your Way.
To this day, because that jingle again, like 30 years old. But when I think of Burger King, I still think of the fact that they are cool with me customizing my burger.
Yeah.
You can do it anywhere. You can get a customized burger at McDonald's, but Burger King owned that.
Yeah. I think Burger King...
They openly advertise it.
I think Burger King is still cool in that I never have liked it.
I always loved that one.
So let's hold up on the Burger King endorsement.
I think it depends on the Burger King you go to and
like
how
the
well run. The fry, I'm with you on the fries.
Yeah.
The McDonald's fries are one. The new and improved Wendy's fries, outstanding, and they're very much in the McDonald's vein.
Really?
I recommend them.
McDonald's fries, when it comes to fast food, and the former co-host of this radio show, Poppy taught me this, and he was an elite, eat your fast food while you're driving mind.
Yeah.
Nice compound adjective. And he would claim, and he's right, the two best foods, fast food-wise, to get when you're looking to eat and drive, one, McDonald's fries,
Yes.
because you can eat them
Without looking.
without ketchup, too.
Yeah, right.
Or whatever condiment, and they're fantastic, especially when they're hot. Secondly, chili cheese burritos, Taco Bell. Think about it. The Chilito.
They're small and you can grip and rip.
The
Yeah.
Chilito.
Oh,
no.
You can eat
can't
that
do
in
that.
3 bites.
Yeah.
You'd
if you
have
think
to,
about it.
but it's oozes.
Well, no, but you have the
oozes
wrapper.
chili cheese everywhere.
Yeah,
you
the
gotta
wrapper.
use the wrapper.
Oh, okay,
Thank
wait.
you.
No, wait. You'd have to peel down the wrapper as you eat. It's a two-handed affair. It's sloppy.
No, it's not.
Taco Bell in general
No, it's not.
is a terrible food to eat while driving because the taco, like the hard shell taco, is
Well,
going to
that's
splinter
ridiculous.
everywhere.
You can't do that.
Right? The bigger tacos are going to fall apart and leak and blah, blah, blah in your lap. You can't do that.
The chili cheese burrito is small.
Yes.
It's easy to be handheld.
Correct.
And with the wrapper, you elevate it a little bit. So therefore the wrapper, let's say you elevate it an 1.5 inches, 2 inches out of the wrapper. Well, you start eating there. Whatever's going to come out is going to come out of the bottom. So therefore that goes into the wrapper. Right.
But
So then you just keep elevating it until you get to that final bite. And then you just put that final bite in your mouth
hammer
with
that.
all
the goo.
all of the stuff that's fallen on the bottom, and you lick the wrapper at a stoplight, and we're in business.
Yeah, now I just plowed into a minivan. By the time I've done all that, I think and the chili cheese,
Right.
it is called a Chilito.
But it was worth it.
It's outstanding.
Yeah.
We've talked about the whole history of Zantigo in the past,
Zans.
and how that turned into this.
Amazing.
All right, I'm going to give you another one, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best part of waking up?
Oh, Folgers in your cup.
Folgers in your cup
Yeah.
is the best part of waking up.
That was the one I
that's
was thinking
terrific.
of. And then I found this was me as a kid.
I wanna grow up, I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Toys for Us.
Yes.
Oh, Toys R Us was an all-time jingle for me.
Give me a break. Give me a break.
Break me off a piece of that
Kit Kat bar. Nicely done.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's. Now I've gone down the search machine, trying to find lyrics to jingles, so I could hit you guys with them and make it the old stump the snob,
Oh,
where your name
that'd
is
be
your
good.
buzzer.
That would be good.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back.
Okay, this just has. I mean, we're up against the break here. We got Dan Pompei around the corner.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm just going to say.
Almond Joy's got a nut.
Here's what I'm going to do.
So-
Because
I'm going to say what the dagger, the touchdown portion of the jingle was. And as Nordo with his right hand searches all-time famous jingle so he can win, you guys use your name as a buzzer,
All
okay?
right, ready.
Here we go. Like a good neighbor.
Charch.
State Farm is
Charch.
there. Oh, sorry.
I'll take State Farm is
Yeah,
there.
thank you.
Thank you.
How about I want my baby back?
Charch.
Charch.
I want my baby back ribs.
Yeah.
What's the
Chili's.
There you go.
Chili's.
I always love
right?
that one.
Yes.
Okay. $5 foot long.
Charch.
Nordo.
I was Subway.
Is that a jingle? Is $5 footlong a jingle, or is it just a thing?
No, it's just a thing. Yeah, I think it's just a thing.
I think it's just a thing.
How about? Oh, you guys already did give me a break with Kit Kat. All right, let's pause. I do want to get into this later. This poll that you sent in the Tolstoy. Who in the Super Bowl? For whom will you be rooting? Chiefs, Eagles, or I'd rather eat glass, which is the dominant winner. So I definitely want to get into that at some portion of the equation, probably with Chad Greenway.
It's the matchup nobody wants.
Well, you're wrong. I mean, it's the best two teams in the most popular sport in the world. So inherently right there, I'm not speaking for everybody. You can be here's the reality guy. I'm saying these are the best two teams. that are meeting for everything in the most popular sport. I think that's pretty cool. But we'll get into that with Chad Greenway. Around the corner, a writer for The Athletic named Dan Pompei. He's been on 9 to Noon before. Very, very gifted and good at what he does. He wrote a deep dive on Teddy Bridgewater after he finished his season with the Motor City Kitties. And it has some very compelling, intriguing, and heartwarming parts to the story. Mr. Pompei joins us next.